in there.
Over here, we got the 5-ounce JBR bars.
So just so everybody can see, let's just test my known good bar
yes.
on your machine again, if that wouldn't be too much of a problem. Mm-hmm. And your name is again? Just your first name's fine.
Saul.
Perfect. So Saul is a local coin dealer here in Ottawa, and this is my first time coming down to actually buy directly from him rather than have him mail stuff to me. So today I asked him to bring his machine over to test a known good bar, which I brought from home. And at 99.9 pure, tests good. So that means his machine's good. So we're here today with a buddy of mine to do a purchase of some silver bars. So if you continue talking with Ron there.
Perfect. Okay. So over here, we have a 5-ounce JBR bar. So it's from a British refinery. And at the back are all the icons of Britain.
Perfect.
And if you put that down there.
And it's 999. Perfect. All right, Ron. So
all individually wrapped, which is nice too.
Yeah.
Today, what are you picking up today? What do you think you want today?
So this is a
10
ounce Silvertown bar.
Okay.
And it has the Prospector logo. And we can show the viewers too.
Oh, that's neat.
Very nice. I bought some Silvertown stuff back in the day, a long time ago. That was my first purchase, was actually from Silvertown.
Yeah, they're very good.
I ordered them from their mailing in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was actually kind of nervous.
It cost a fortune.
No, it was free. It's all free. Go to their website. It's all free shipping through Silvertown. You order this stuff here direct, and you buy it at the American price, and they ship it right to you. One bar, one coin. They'll ship it for free.
Wow.
And it's amazing. They still do it.
My favorite pieces from them are the bullets. They make the 1 ounce and 2 ounce bullets. They're beautiful pieces.
Yeah, I saw those online. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, they're really cool. I love those.
Want to get rid of a werewolf? There you go.
So that's a 10-ounce bar.
Because it won't work in a gun, so you just have to chuck it at them. Scare them off.
There's a 10-ounce bar with about 3 grams for the plastic, so it weighs what it's supposed to. And it weighs what it's supposed to.
So
perfect.
For these ones, we want to be careful we don't...
Are those the Philharmonics?
Yeah. We want to be careful we don't touch it with our fingers because it will tarnish.
Oh, wow.
So these are one of the most popular bullion coins in Europe.
Euro. It's got a value, euro value.
The advantage is about
€1.5.
Do you know what the advantages are for actually having a finance amount on the front of the bar or the front of the coin?
It's just the mint, really. It just shows that it's a government backed mint, so it's a government approved mint.
That's correct. But what are the values to a person who purchases it with the actual coin value denominated on the front?
It really depends on the person. Like, it has its metal value, which is significantly greater than the value of the back.
That's right.
But yeah, it just depends on the person. The benefit of having a government recognized bullion piece is that it is recognized by the government of that country.
That's correct.
For example, Royal Canadian Mint. So it goes through a lot more regulatory approvals, which is why it has a slightly higher premium too.
Well, there's another reason why it has a higher premium, and there's another reason why it's more desirable than all of that. How much money are you allowed to go into the U.S. without before declaration?
10 grand.
Perfect. What's the dollar value on the front of this coin?
€1.50.
How much is €1.50 in American? About $2.
$2, yeah.
How many of those silver coins can you bring over into the U.S. before you have to declare the value? 5,000 of them.
I did not know it worked that way.
So that's the elite in the government in the United States, Canada, and the Western world have set up this dollar value for certain countries. Canada also has the same sort of laws. So this is a way for rich people to actually be able to leave their country with a whole bunch of wealth intact. $20 American coins that are inexistent.
Yeah.
You can pick them up and you can literally buy a $20 0.7 ounce coin.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting.
That is. Over here we have the Britannias.
I like Britannias.
Britannias.
Have you seen the double Britannias?
A double Britannia?
Yeah, the 2 ounce Britannias. I should have brought one. It's got King Chuckles on it.
Oh, this one is King Charles.
Yeah. The first one they came out with Charles's face on it is a double Britannia.
That is really cool.
And it says right on it the date that he became king, like when Elizabeth died. It literally has that date on it. So
That's
I have one. I
primitive.
have one at home. I think there was like 10,000 of them made. It might not even. It might not even be like a mint coin. I'm not. I have one. It tests positive. I bought it. I was actually quite impressed with it. But it's a double. It's like twice the thick, like the silver
like
werewolf
the
coins.
werewolves. Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice coins.
Those are really cool.
It's slightly smaller, by the way. That coin I was just talking about than the diameter. No, yours is slightly smaller. The double werewolf than the.
Oh yeah, because the Royal
the
Canadian
British
makes it 38 millimeters. I think British are 39.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but those are Britannias.
Yeah, these are really nice.
So, did you have an idea of what you'd like to pick up today? And
Oh, I also have some more premium bars if you're interested. I'll just move out all these.
All nicely stacked.
Sort of, they got shuffled around a little bit.
This box even has compaction on the corners to protect anything that
So,
drops.
We
Oh,
have
wow.
the Britannia bars. Now the plastic is pretty bad on these. Like,
I bought one of these just to have it.
yeah.
Just to have one.
Sorry, put that away.
So yeah, that's so good. Yeah, those are a nice one.
They're very nice ones.
Are those the 10 or are those the 250s? I think those are the 10s.
No, these
right?
are 10s.
Did you ever get any of the 250s?
No, I talked to Roman. They haven't released those for international consumption yet.
Because I have 10 of them.
So it must have come from the UK.
No, I bought them from Silver Gold Bull. They had a deal on the bar.
The 250 Britannia.
Yeah, 250 Britannias. Yeah,
I've
they
never
were there
seen
for like a
those.
day and gone.
Damn, I wish I saw that.
Yeah. I'll take a picture of a couple of them and I'll send it to
That'd
you.
be really cool. I've never seen one.
Yeah, they're a little bit smaller, but about the same look to it and everything.
Yeah, they're really cool. Oh, I want those. I love the 250 series.
Well, if I come down to Ottawa, I'll bring you one. We could trade. How's that?
That sounds great. And then there's the Royal Canadian Mint bars.
Oh, serialized and everything.
Yeah.
I think the bars have the little maple leaf symbol on the front of them too now, or is it just the coins? No, they don't have it.
No.
No. You know what? On the front of the maple, they have that 3D.
Oh yeah,
maple
the
leaf,
3D.
little
Yeah,
stamp,
yeah.
Which
counterfeit.
the counterfeit.
technology.
Yeah, I was just wondering if they.
And then the back
I'm wondering if they
Has
put it
a
on there.
unique-
Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of a unique polished top.
and a center one is a little different.
I believe there's 16 different characteristics to determine whether it's real or fake. I don't know all of them, but I know the one at the back is a shiny little maple.
Yeah. Well, it kind of stands out
Yeah.
amongst all the rest of them.
All right, so to move this along for this fine person here, Ron, do you have any idea of what you'd like to pick up today?
Well, as I was saying, I'm looking for the best bang for the buck.
Oh, yeah. So here's the Philharmonics. I think I showed one of those. Okay, let me get the price
Those are
sheet
sealed.
out.
Those
Yeah,
are sealed too.
I think you said that the 5-ounce round buffaloes were the cheapest when I was reading.
They're the same price as this, but unfortunately somebody took all of them
That's what I was really
in
interested in.
Elmer. I know. I'm gonna get more. of them. It was a really big product. It's the first time I got them, so I wanted
Well,
to
next time
test
before I
it.
come down, I'll let you know what I want exactly, and then you can put it aside for
that'd
me.
be perfect. Yeah.
All right, but
That's what I usually do. If somebody really wants something, I'll just set it
How
aside
many of
for
the
them.
5-ounces do you have left?
I have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think 18 or 17.
18?
There's one there.
Yeah, perfect. 18. I may have more upstairs. Let me just get my iPad out. Oh, if you want gold, I have some gold as well if you want to see that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If you're interested.
Which ones are these?
These are the 5-gram Britannias.
5-gram Britannias. Very nice. Yeah, these are the ones that you gotta make sure you put on the verifier when you're buying them from someone.
Yeah. You have to use the small wand for that one.
Well, it doesn't read through the plastic because it's got an air gap.
Yeah, but if you press the small wand against it, it usually works. You just have to press it really hard.
That's an extra heavy card.
Yeah. The shipping weight just goes by the card pretty much.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then there are 5 gram Bocambies.
I got a couple of I got like 4, I think, of the
Credit card size.
2.5s of these.
Yeah. I have those coming in as well.
How much are these?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to look at my sheet.
Oh, they're serialized in the cards as well.
So how does this work for you? Like when you're selling, like obviously, like when you buy it, you run the risk of like $120 drop from the time you buy it. How do you mitigate your counterparty risk with that? Like how does it work for you as a
each person or each dealer or each stacker should have a hedging strategy. So if you buy something, you shouldn't ever be worried about it dropping because you still have the actual metal, you still own it.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's just a depreciated metal. But the loss is all paper losses. Like you don't actually have the loss because you still have the metal. So if the value goes back up, you still have the metal and you still have that extra paper gain. The only time you actually take a loss is when you go to sell it at a loss. But usually when you sell it at a loss, you can rebuy it at a cheaper price. So you still have the actual metal, so you don't actually take the loss.
So as a dealer, you don't really worry about the paper price. You just worry about the actual selling point.
Yeah. So pretty much like say, well, right now silver spot's $34. If silver spot dropped to $23, like it did end of last year or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it's like an $11 difference.
Yep.
I just sell silver at that price, but then I can rebuy it at that price. So as a dealer or like a wholesaler, you'd usually make around like 2 to maybe 3% on your products. That's usually the markup. So as long as you can make that, it doesn't matter what price you sell it at. So if silver drops, all of the mint prices drop as well. So I can go to like Silvertown Mint, for instance, and buy a cheaper product. So I'm able to sell that cheaper product. And so I'm able to sell what I have on hand, and I'm able to order it for the future.
And then you buy it immediately at whatever the price is currently so that you lose nothing.
Yeah, and so that's what futures trading is.
Yeah.
So futures trading is selling whatever stock you have, like currently, you'd sell it, and then you'd order something for the future price. And because you're basically renting out the item for a specific amount of time that way, you make a 2 to 3% premium. It's similar to like options trading, if you're familiar to that.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
So if you sell if you do like a covered call or whatever, you make a small premium, and the premium increases as you short your stock further out. So you make the money in the time.
Okay.
So it's really similar to that.
That sounds good. Okay.
There's other strategies as well where you can just go onto the stock market, purchase or sell, so short or long the actual silver or the gold. But for that, you need to have a lot of volume. That's probably the best way to do it. But the other way, which incurs more slippage, would be to just sell it and then order it from the mints or the mint distribution centers.
Oh, okay. That makes it easier to understand when you explained it a little bit. I was always just wondering how a bullion dealer actually hedged their bets, because some days are like killer days, you know what I mean? You just get hammered, right? Like this week, like the last 2 weeks, silver's just been on a tear, right?
I know.
So like you're waiting for that reversal, that drop, because if silver's going on a plus for 9, 10, it's been going for 30 days now. Silver's been on a tear, right? Well, eventually it's going to take that small pullback. Someone will be shorted in a position. They'll have to cover their position. The silver price will drop. We all know that's how that works out. So like I was always just interested how you kind of protect yourself from that, because some days I buy and I'm buying at the wrong time, so to say, and I'll lose a dollar of value or $1.50 of value. And like me as a stacker, I don't look at the numbers like you. I just think of long term, 10 years from now, where am I going to be at? So for me, it's an easy buy, right? But I always was just curious how someone would make the paper on holding a physical asset. So like paper money is one thing, physical is another. We both understand that. And do you stack your own metal, or?
Oh yeah, I stack my own metal.
So you're definitely fully aware of the fiat paper system then.
But I've been doing it since last decade, so 2015, 2016.
Okay.
So what I would do, I purchased a whole bunch of gold and silver at that time. Now, at the time, us buying silver maples with a premium for $24. Now spot is $34. So just in metal content alone, I've made $10 plus the additional.
So you
premium for
made
maples.
almost 30%,
Yeah,
which over what?
just on metal value.
But 7 years, 30%. You know, that's almost as good as any stock market, right?
The stock market is shit.
My first
Yeah.
my first purchase of gold was in 2000, and I bought it for $291.
Yeah, that's now.
Okay,
gold
and then
is
the
like-
Dow Jones at the time was around 11,000.
Yeah.
Now the Dow's at 33. It's struggling to stay there. And silver for me is now, if I wanted to sell an ounce, you'd buy it for how much if it was a maple right now?
Ooh,
Like if you bought a maple from a person off the street, would you pay spot?
No, I would pay more on spot. I usually pay 3% under my wholesale cost.
Okay, so if you
my
were to buy a
wholesale
maple,
cost-
like $2,700 in that range-ish, right?
Yeah.
So I bought mine for around $290, or 9.5 times more value than when I bought it in 2000.
Yeah.
Well, the stock market has only gone up 300%, whereas my gold has gone up 9.5 times.
Yeah.
So why would you buy stock? You know, like it just doesn't like that. I don't
think
even
there's,
dabble in stock anymore.
Yeah,
so.
there's different portfolios. Like stocks, depending on the stock, it has more potential to like double, triple. I remember when I started in the stock market, like I tripled everything in 3 months. But that was just because I took really risky bets and they just happened to pay off.
Yeah.
And then I lost everything like shortly after by making really bad bets. So stock market, if you make really good bets, you can like go significantly more. But I think metals are more of a long-term hold, so that you won't make like really crazy money off of it.
You're not after killer gains. You're after stability and
Exactly.
slow increases.
Exactly.
Like myself, I view gold now as like every year it's a 5% increase, so to say. You know, in over 20 years, you know, like I'm talking 5% compound, not 5% yearly,
Yeah.
right? So you know, like over 20 years, you're gaining like almost 200%, right? You know, and it's obviously probably drastically more than that, but I view it as better than a bank. You know, a bank gives you 0.5%, you know, and gold guaranteed it's going to give you way more than 0.5%.
Gold and silver, like all metals, are more for like hedging against inflation. If you look at it from like the 1967 when they sort of started discontinuing the silver currency, like a silver dime was 10 cents back then, and it was made out of silver. It could buy a loaf of bread.
I think they're $1.84 now or something like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is now, but it's probably something like that. But you can just buy a loaf of bread for that price anyway.
Yeah.
So like the actual purchasing power of that dime remained the same. The value of it depreciated in terms of monetary value, but in terms of metal value, the purchasing power of that stayed the same.
Have you heard of Lynette Zhang?
No.
She's a chief market analyst for a major company down in the U.S. that does basically gold and silver investing with physical metals.
Yeah.
She did an actual presentation once with loaves of bread. And she came in and she put down a $20 American gold coin from 1911.
Yeah.
And then she showed how many loaves of bread it could buy. Right? And then she came to today and put down that same loaf of bread. And she had 119 loaves of bread. And she's like, show me something else that's done that for you.
It's crazy.
You know, it was absolutely hilarious. She calls it the gold bread law.
The gold bread law.
Because it was almost the same amount of bread back then as it is now.
Yeah, exactly.
The gold bread law.
Exactly.
So I thought that was interesting. So did you decide what you're going to be picking up today there, Ron?
All right, so Ron, I'm going to show you my price sheet. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit.
I was looking at that.
Now, all prices
using
that
the
are discussed
camera.
today are in Canadian dollars, so we're not American, and all prices are non-existent the minute we leave the room because we're just discussing today's market value and not future market value. Now, you have a Facebook page, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
And what's your Facebook page?
It's Canada Gold and Silver Seekers.
And that's on Facebook. And anybody is welcome to join your
Yeah,
page.
everybody can join it.
And how do you ship and how do you deal with like out of area orders for customers that would be interested in getting contact with you?
So there's multiple shipping methods. It depends on your risk. I've never had a problem either way. So I can do letter mail, which is $5.
And that's $5, and that's for like any amount, or do you have like a limit?
Up to 500 grams. That's what Canada Post usually has. But there's no tracking on it, so you're taking a risk.
All right.
that
Now
way.
let's say with tracking, like
With
what's your
tracking,
rate?
yeah, that's what I would recommend. I ship all gold express post, so it gets to you within 1 or 2 days, depending on where you are in the country.
And what's the fee for the express post?
$20.
$20.
And for heavier items, I just charge $20 and I cover the extra. And it's usually either express post or expedited, depending on where you live.
And do you ship out of Canada, or is this for Canadian
Yeah, I ship
customers
out of
only?
Canada too. I ship to Australia, US, New Zealand. I have bank accounts in those countries, so they're able to just use the local bank transfer method.
Do you do anything in Europe?
Yeah, Europe is complicated because of the silver customs regulations, but gold is tax-free.
So gold is tax-free. Is that in any European country or specific ones?
I'm not
do you
too
know?
familiar with the European laws, but I'm pretty sure it's all European countries.
Okay, perfect.
Different, but you should check your country just to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you thinking there, Ron?
Okay, so Ron, these are the prices.
Okay. Well, the grams over on this side, and you've got the
Yeah,
ounces.
silver's on the left.
Yeah, silver went up 30 cents since I talked to you yesterday.
I was hoping it would drop for you. I make most of my sales on the drops. And yeah, but it's good. That means like a lot more people are waiting for the dip.
Yeah, well, I see a pullback next week. Like everything indicates it. Like any other stock, there's you, as you said, you dealt in stocks before. I like to short and buy. So I don't hold anything. I don't marry a stock, if you know what I mean. Like I try to follow a principle of like a certain amount of ups.
Yeah.
And then when I see those number of ups, it starts getting into like a range past the 200-day moving average. The same thing with silver, right? It's been on a tear for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm speculating a 75% chance it drops next week right now in my head, and 25% it keeps going up. I'm not saying that it can't go up.
Whatever goes up goes down, right?
That's right.
So
Like it all depends.
You gotta wait for it, but the problem is like actually knowing how much is gonna drop.
Yeah.
So like it could go up like $3, drop like 50 cents.
I don't see it dropping.
know.
I don't see a pullback coming back to where it was anywhere within the last month ago. It's not. I don't see it going there in the near future. But
It might be a small
I see.
pullback.
I'm seeing like 75 cents or so maybe next week.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm gospel, but it's gone up consecutively. Like when you look at the date and you look at it going up, it's been going up for almost 30 days, and generally when it gets to a certain point, it gets into the oversold area, which silver right now is a little bit oversold. So I see a small. I don't see a big pullback. I see a small one. And you know what? That could all be wiped out on this long weekend, because we got all the Americans that are the major buyers of some of this stuff, and like a lot of the markets are closed, and it's the long weekend. But the Asian markets are going to be open all weekend, and if another American bank or a Canadian bank starts to fluctuate, and collapses again, that's going to be
It
even
puts a lot of pressure on metals. Yeah.
Well, there's a major bank in Canada right now that's actually been on the news lately. I'm not going to mention it because I heard there's a law in our country. If you mention bank runs, it's bad. But it's more over leveraged than any other bank in all of North America, and its stock price has been dropping precipitously. And if you just do on the top 5 banks and just do a little checking and which ones dropped the most in the last 30 days, you'll find out which one it is pretty easy. So that's just a little food for thought. So if you got more than what the Canadian government covers, which in the U.S. is $250,000, in Canada it's $100,000. And the other thing is that our money is only insured by 2.5% of the actual asset value. So if the bank collapses and it's worth more than what the insurance fund has, you lose your money anyways.
Wow. Or the government could bail us out.
But a bailout taxes us. So, if inflation's from bailouts, right?
Either way, we
Yeah.
pay.
That's what the American government did. They just put a unlimited loan for.
Well, Janet had no choice. If she didn't back that, the spiral would have been unbelievable.
It would have been very bad.
The American dollar is not the American dollar, but the American system is way over leveraged. So is the Canadian. Like if you look at the amount of money that the currency that we've borrowed into existence, there is no way that the Canadian government or the Canadian taxpayer or we're ever going to pay this off. So all of the debtor nations that we owe money to are gonna want their money, and they're gonna, if they ever decide to send back the American dollars they have abroad, the whole Western system collapses, right? So, like China's the second largest backer of a purchaser of American treasuries. Japan's number one. But if you actually combined Hong Kong's money currency that they borrowed, that they bought, and the Chinese together, because China owns Hong Kong now, China's actually the number one holder of American debt bonds.
Wow.
If you include Hong Kong's amount. So,
and if they start trading in their own currency instead.
That's right. And Canada,
it doesn't do well for the dollar.
Canada, our class one asset that backs our dollar is American bonds. I think we have $284 billion in T-bills that we use as our number one collateral. That's rather than gold or silver or any other commodity. Canada just literally has this stacked pile of IOUs in the bank, and they hope that someday they'll be able to go, yeah, we're going to use those on a rainy day.
Wow.
What's the JBRs?
JBRs? Those are the 5-ounce bars there.
That's those ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was saying to you earlier, I think those bars are the most cost effective as 5-ounce bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 of these are approximately the same as one of those.
Yeah.
These are easier to offload.
Yeah.
If there's a financial problem or you need a smaller denomination, 5 ounces are better. I personally like 1 ounce, but the premiums are a little bit high on them, and you don't have any of the Silvertown 1 ounce rounds or any of the low budget rounds. You do have on coming in on the 14th though. You have a shipment of the cheaper rounds.
They'll be the JBRs.
Okay.
So the same backing, the same front.
Okay.
Just 1 ounce round.
Any idea of when you might get some of the cheaper 1 ounce rounds, or like anything from Silvertown or
They haven't been
or Silver Street?
Yeah, it really depends on demand. Most of my customers wanted these bars, so I just got those. So it really depends on my customer base.
Okay.
I see you have one that's the same value whether you get the JBR or you get the Buffalo round. Do you still have the one Buffalo
I
round?
don't have the Buffalo round. Yeah.
That's the one I was talking to him about last night.
My client in Almer, he took it.
Oh, okay.
They're close. They're the same price though, aren't they? The Buffalo round and that bar. They were yesterday.
They're about the same price. Yeah. They're same premium.
Yeah, same thing on here. That's what it's showing.
I can order more next week, but yeah, just give me a heads up next time. I can just.
I should have told you to hold them all.
I know.
I didn't.
But you never know. Anyway, no, things just keep coming and going. But that's just how it works.
In and out. Flip it over.
Yeah.
So what are we doing there?
So how much the little gold ones you had there?
Oh, these gold ones?
Yeah.
So
which is the biggest bang for the buck?
probably 10 gram.
You don't have any 1 ounces lying around?
No. I don't carry those 1 ounces because they're really hard to move. For the gold, even silver, the smaller you get, the more liquid it is. So the more easier it is to sell. So for example, a 1 ounce, you'd have to find somebody with approximately $2,800 to buy that 1 ounce.
So that doesn't come in very often?
No, it does. It's just a bigger investment. And so when, say gold does double at some point, now you have to find somebody with over $5,000 that wants to buy that. And that's a little harder to get than somebody who purchases 5 gram, for instance, for $486. And if that doubles, it's still very easy to find somebody with $800 something versus somebody with $5,000.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage of going smaller, but then as a result, you pay a higher premium because it costs the mints the same amount
to manufacture and to ship and all that.
Exactly, and stamp it, refine it, assay it, all of that. So
X number of times to press a small one versus.
So are you getting a 10?
Exactly.
Or are you getting a 10 or are you going to get a 5 gram?
So, and this one's how much? That's the 486?
So that's the 10 gram?
Oh, that's 10.
So that's about $1,000 almost? Like 900 or something like that?
939.71.
About $2,800 for an ounce for that. And spot for gold right now is
27.21.
And that's going to be about $2,850. So it's about $150 over spot for that run.
Sorry, I can't do the math right now.
I'm just giving him a rough ballpark. I'm not doing it perftly.
I'm terrible math either, so.
So your 10 gram there is it's reasonable because you're paying about $50, $55 over spot for that.
Yeah, roughly. And the 5 gram, I'd say, is probably my most popular bars right now.
Yeah.
And they are what? They're 486.
So you got to times that by 5.
That was a bit bigger in size, eh? That's why you had it separated down the end.
Yeah.
I saw you had it there, so I made sure to put it back there.
They look almost exactly the same. It's just one is slightly bigger than the other.
Well, I didn't take the two, put them side by side, and say, "Oh yeah, okay, that one is bigger."
Makes sense, yeah.
Still serialized and everything. And 5 is. I'm gonna get just one. I'm gonna get a 5.
Okay.
And then everything else we get in these bars.
In the 5 ounce bars?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, awesome.
And how much are you looking at putting down today?
Well, I have $5,000. We'll go to the nearest.
The nearest bar?
Above it. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to pause the video and let you do your magic, and then
Okay.
just before we start to give out the numbers, I'll restart the video, okay?
Let's see.
So what did we wind up settling on in total for bars?
So total was 19 5-ounce bars.
Perfect.
And 2 10-ounce bars.
And a 5 gram gold bar,
yes,
right?
and the 5 gram Bocambi gold bar.
And the total value of that came to?
5017.
Perfect. All right, so you're going to just keep counting that, and then we'll come back to the video. So that concludes the purchase.
Yeah.
So Ron decided to go with another 10-ounce bar. He just couldn't leave without getting one of those Royal Mint
The
ones.
beautiful Britannia.
Yeah, I love the front of it. Like I love the whole trident on it. Like I don't know why.
It looks like a poker bar. That's what I always joke with my friends with.
Yeah, they're pretty
It's
awesome.
like a little bar that you play poker.
They're pretty awesome. So once again, you have your Facebook page there that
Yes.
people can come to.
Gold and Silver Seekers Canada.
Perfect. And so once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. It's Canadian Stacker. Have a great and wonderful day. Goodbye.